Hi, this is Chris Walker with Big Angie Fan, back with another reaction, or in this case, mostly a review. This is Angelina Jordan's EP, Old Enough, and I've done 4 reactions so far, 4 reviews so far, and 2 left to go. This one is All My Fault, and it's in my top 3, and so I'm excited to go over this. As I said, this is going to be mainly review. I've heard this a lot of times. One thing about this set of songs is we haven't heard them in live versions much, and 3 of the songs we've only heard once, and that was in Portsmouth, New Hampshire, and that was one of the disappointments about her Portsmouth concert, was that there are acoustics issues, mixing issues, band not having practiced enough, that made, she sang every song from the EP, but it made those renditions disappointing in a lot of ways. But some were better than others, and I think this one here was the one that they did best, and so I'd like to give you, I'm going to base my review off of this live rendition. You know, I have released onto YouTube one other song from Portsmouth, her brilliant version of Unchained Melody, and there was some controversy at the time about whether Angelina herself didn't want this on or not. A lot of back and forth about that, but you know, yes, I'm aware of that issue, and so one thing about this is, you know, you're going to see it just in a window on my screen and interrupted, so I'm not, you know, fully putting it out here, and also, you know, I will, of course, immediately take it down if asked to do so by Angelina's team. But so, all of that set aside, let's get into this, remembering that, you know, there were these sound issues, and so I tried to correct them as well as I could in making this. Some of the issues are just from the camera itself, and others, like I said, were from the band. Let's get going. Okay, one good thing about this is that it starts out with an instrumental intro, which the studio version does not, and I like that. Let's go.
Down on my knees, it is good, though it's loud. It is loud. I'm trying to fix this whatever the clouds. Where did the sun
Notice the hand movements here.
so far from what we want be in the terror.
Okay, I'll bring it back a little bit after this, but so a couple of things about this. First of all, this is some of the most, her hand gestures here are very, very expressive, and that's one thing I really liked about this. More expressive than you know, in most of her live performances. The other thing is, you'll notice this more later on in the song, is one of the distracting things about the band here was a saxophone. The sound of the saxophone is too close to the sound of her voice, and there's a couple of places where, you know, I really wish the saxophone wasn't there. You know, the drums are too loud also, I've toned them down here. Bass is good, but in terms of her singing, this is a masterful performance. You know, this very R&B kind of style here. You don't pick up the gravel and grit in her voice so much in this. It's partly because of the recording, but yeah, I can't fault her at all about the singing here. And one thing about the lyrics, I'll get into them more later, but there's a tendency of some reviewers to think, and you know, reactors to think that these songs by Angelina Jordan talking about, you know, something that happened and regrets about it, or you know, feeling sorry about something, or you know, feeling hurt, or, that these are all about relationships. And I think she's more philosophical than that. This most of these song lyrics, I think, are much more a general theme rather than talking about a specific relationship, and that's the case with this, and also to the extent that it is about something specific that happened in her life. It could have nothing to do with the relationship, and it could be more like conflicts with her music team. It could be other. It could even be other conflicts in her family. Like one possibility that people have brought up is this could be a song about her dad. We do have some indirect evidence, which I'm not going to get into, of some kind of rift between Angelina Jordan and her dad. So this could be a song, about how, the reason that dad isn't with her anymore is because of she decided to go this route and move to LA, and that's, I think it probably isn't about that, so you can speculate all we want, but basically the main point is that these songs are more generally philosophical than about specific events in her life, I think. Now, again here, really pay attention to the hands.
It's all wrong, so far from what we want to be in the terror. Night is gone, it's all my fault. It's all we wrong, but I'm taking a breath while I fall.
Especially this part here. I love this bridge section. A hand like this. I just love some of the lines here, some of the best lyrics of any of her songs, I think. I'm taking in the breeze while I fall. So it's like you're seeing the bright side in a negative situation, but what a metaphor to use that, like I'm falling, I'm about to injure myself badly, but isn't this a nice breeze? I just think that is a crazy good lyric. And then also paired with that lyric is the line, my heart flows into you like waterfalls. Like, how could you more strongly express your love for somebody than to say that your heart flows into you like waterfalls? Just brilliant. Also, we're noticing some variations here in, that is always a treat with Angelina Jordan. It's always somewhat different. Each version is different. And, she didn't do the Ariana Grande-like falsetto at the end of that part there, but the version that she did was great, and I noticed some more extended phrases. Let's just go back on that whole part again. That was actually from a different song, but yeah, I just wanted to say that yes, my wife was surreptitiously filming this after we kind of got shut down from filming, and so there were some places where the camera just was covered up by somebody or was out of focus, so that's why I used that shot of me watching. But yeah, it was something to be there. And I think the guy directly in front there is Adair Martin, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so he gets to have his bald head shown throughout this and through Unchained Melody. But yeah, this was definitely the best of the EP versions, I thought. All right, continuing on. Yeah, like that. Oh yeah. Okay, so right there, I think the sax really, interfered. It was too close to what her voice sounds like. I think in general, although the sax player was an excellent player, that he took the spotlight too much, and I think they could have done without a sax in this. But now I wish you could hear a little bit more of the texture of the voice that we could hear in the theater. But yeah, live, it's always a treat to see how she's going to do these things differently. Okay, let's just go through to the end here. Back up a little. Again, the sax, I don't like that thing. So, yes, just a superb song, and I'm really looking forward to in this concert coming up in Glendale in less than 3 weeks now, that she revisits this song, and also Fire and Rain is the other one, and Good and Goodbyes, of course. That was the biggest disappointment from Portsmouth, because that's my favorite song from the EP, and I would love a really crisp version of that, hearing her vocals clearly and with the instrumentation coming as close as possible to how it sounds like on the EP with that gorgeous bass. But this was excellent, I thought. And yes, be sure to check out, of course, the EP version, where the vocals are like crystal clear and just some of her best vocals ever. Just that very gritty R&B style. These are the vocals that most closely resemble her vocals on her new single, Bad Valentine, which, by the way, is officially coming out on September 20th, the day of the concert. Okay, Chris Walker, Big Angie Fan Channel here in beautiful Hawaii. Aloha.